Well, viewers, to start off with, the Nanded horror has shaken not only the conscience of the nation but also put a spotlight on a chronic and ongoing crisis in the public healthcare sector in the country. Now, in the aftermath of the Nanded tragedy, the opposition has stepped up its attack on the Shinde government, with their spot checks and even exposés from the prominent government hospitals to push the Shinde-led Maharashtra government into a corner. Now, in the latest flashpoint here, Shivsena leaders from the Uddhav faction inspected the health facilities and even the availability of medicines at one of Mumbai's most prominent government hospitals. It's the Cooper Hospital that we're talking about, known to have the latest equipment and even highly qualified health practitioners who are treating scores of people on a daily basis. However, the opposition's spot inspection revealed a crisis in the heart of India's financial capital. Even a major hospital in Mumbai is grappling with staff shortage. The Dean of Cooper Hospital, Shailesh Mohite, in an exclusive exchange, admitted to staff shortages at the hospital, though he claimed that there was adequate stock of medicines as well in the hospital. Let's take a look at this interaction.
We are present here at Cooper Hospital and you can clearly see this is the delegation of Shivsena of Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, and they have entered this hospital and are going to Dean's cabin to inspect, to review, or you can say to ask questions whether there is availabilities of medicine. Are the staff of doctors and nurses enough in this hospital is the big question that they will be asking to the Dean. You know, after the Nanded incident, this kind of situation has arrived, and Shivsena of Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray as going and inspecting across such government hospitals in Mumbai and will be asking questions to the Dean on the medical facility of the Cooper Hospital. Sir, what are the primary things that has been highlighted by the group and that needs to be taken into account?
I would like to put it on record that we have adequate amount of medicines and we always provide whatever medicines are required to the patients. Related to staff, yes, about 5 to 10% shortage is there, but this is because some people are leaving and those posts which lie vacant are immediately advertised and filled.
Also, sir, issues of the number of ICU beds is of a concern when it considered to the Cooper Hospital. That needs to be increased, the limit of it.
Yes, taking into account the population of the western suburbs. The number of beds were 10 when it was a secondary level hospital. Now, since we are a medical college with post-graduation, now we are certainly in the process of increasing the number of ICU beds.
Well, this is a very interesting issue and more importantly, of course, an issue of great public concern. Now, we'll open this up to our panelists who are joining us. Sajid Supariwala from Shivsena is with us in the UBT camp. We also have Mr. Krishna Hegde. He's from the Shinde Shivsena camp. And also Dr. Parthiv Sanghvi. He's the ex-IMA secretary from Maharashtra. I'm thanking all of you all I thank all of you. Before I open this up, I'm going to first come to Mr. Sajid. Sajid, how do you really look at this, especially considering 38 deaths were reported? Okay, in fact, I believe that Mr. Sajid is still yet to connect with us directly. I'll go to Mr. Krishna Hegde. What do you make of, these sort of spot checks? And do you feel that it keeps the government on its toes, or do you feel that there's more politics involved than anything else here?
Deepak, only politics, I tell you, during COVID, these same people, the CAG has said that there is a corruption of around 4,600 crores. The khichdi which was served to the patients and also to the doctors and nurses and ward boys was supposed to be 300 grams. The same contractor subcontracted that khichdi contract and wrote in his contract legally, which is there in the public domain, that supply 100 grams. So 200 grams of khichdi per plate were siphoned off, and that money was a corruption money which these people swallowed. Secondly, body bags for all the patients who are dead, unfortunately. Thane Municipal Corporation bought it at 300 rupees a body bag. These people bought it at 6,500 rupees a body bag. Imagine the corruption. 4,600 people, 4,600 crores of corruption when thousands of people were dying across Mumbai. This is the way these people work. and they were working from home. They were not on the field. Secondly, I must tell you, the honorable
Once again, you're
has 2
also
days
bringing in
ago.
politics here. You're talking
No,
about
no,
the
no,
past.
no,
How can we
no, no.
forget 38 deaths in the Nanded hospital?
I will tell
There were
you.
infants
Let me
who were
complete,
dying,
Deepak.
and these
No,
are
no,
not because
Deepak,
the
Deepak, let
medical
me.
treatment
No, no,
was
Deepak, you
not
asked me
available.
a
The
question.
medicines were not
Deepak,
available. The basic
Deepak,
thing in
you
a
asked me
hospital
a
would be
question.
medication. So
Deepak, you
it
asked
is
me a
the duty
question.
of an opposition party to bring it to the notice
Deepak,
of the government. So they will argue that it's just their
Deep-
duty now.
Deepak, you asked me a question. Please let me complete and answer the whole thing. The Honorable CM Shri Eknath Shinde 2 days ago has called a meeting of the Chief Secretary, Health Secretary, and all the officers and ordered a audit of all the hospitals across Maharashtra, all the government hospitals, which are run by the government. And whether it is structural movement, medicines, or anything else, the district collector has been authorized that he should regularly visit the hospital in his district, all the hospitals in his district, and wherever there is a shortage of, say, vacancies or medicines, procurement, or any other thing, the district collector is now held responsible. This is the first time it has happened. Secondly, our party and the government has started Apla Davakhana. Over 110 Davakhanas are running in almost every suburb of Mumbai. Third thing, let me tell you that regarding this Cooper Hospital, I was a legislator in the Maharashtra Assembly. I was the person who moved for the modernization of Cooper Hospital. Where were these people at this time? They did not even know Cooper Hospital existed. I was the person who moved the modernization of Cooper Hospital. And today, Cooper Hospital has got a modern facility like Dr. Sailesh Mohite, the dean, has said. It is adjoining, it's in the border of my constituency, this hospital. And exactly, I'm telling you, today,
Okay.
Cooper Hospital has got 650 odd beds. And people from nearby slums or people from who are
Okay.
terminally ill, people who cannot afford treatment in private hospitals. And I want to bring a very important point. Thanks to you, thanks to Mira, now that you picked up this subject.
So
The
did your
private
audit throw
hospitals
up the fact
also
that
have
there's a shortage of staff here?
No, like the dean said, there may be 10% of shortage of staff. Even we have told them that whatever doctors or interns, whoever has to be recruited immediately. And they have been doing it. And I think Dr. Sailesh Mohite has been quite proactive. So now these
The
people are just
problem
playing
here is
politics just
every
because they
step
want to
seems to
come.
be reactive instead of being proactive. That's the biggest concern. I'll take a question across to Mr. Parthiv Sanghvi. He's of course seen all the medical facilities in various hospitals, quite extensively in his long career. Mr. Sanghvi, how are you really looking at what happened in Nanded? You're now, this spot check revealing once again that there's a shortage at this hospital as well. The condition of government hospitals across the country have been questioned. But, with multiple deaths like this reported, it just exposes the apathy.
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. Secondly, what I would like to tell you is, see, the state of affairs in different parts of the state of Maharashtra is different. For example, we are talking about Nanded is in the spotlight. Well, I have been personally to Nanded in the past, and Nanded is a big district place, and there are a lot of surrounding towns, smaller towns and villages which are associated in this district. Now, Nanded Government Hospital is only one hospital which is a teaching medical college. What happens typically is whenever there is a big load of people coming to a hospital which does not have facilities commensurate with the population which it is catering to, problems can arise. How many ever doctors you might have, if the amount of beds probably which are less, then it becomes difficult to accommodate everybody at one particular given point of time. And then there are other things which are also there. So as far as government is concerned, see, you will never have this problem at JJ Hospital in Mumbai or probably in GT Hospital or Kama Hospital, because these are in the metropolitan city. But yes, there could be staff issues over there in government hospitals where staff are not immediately appointed. Especially we find problems not more in the medical staff, but in the class 3 and class 4 employees that even we find in the tertiary levels of hospitals in Mumbai, be it the BMC or be it the government. So the only problem, see, I am myself working in one of the corporation hospitals as an honorary surgeon, that is Bada Saheb Thackeray Trauma Center. So my observation over the past so many years is that there is a certain system which is being followed for appointments of staff, be it class 3, class 4 or class 1 like doctors, etc. So somewhere we are lacking in the speed of appointment. There is, as Dr. Mohite very rightly said, 5 to 10%. It's a flux rate. That means if some doctor has left for some reason, the new appointee will only be done, through channels of the existing doctors. They telling their friends and etc. and those people joining it. But if the higher level is, somebody resigns or is being moved out somewhere else, then there is a protocol and a method which is followed. Now, this at times can take some time for the entire, ball to roll from one place to the other, because there are steps which are being followed in municipal corporation. So that time, there could be some minor deficiencies, but as far as metropolitan cities, no problem. District hospitals, yes, there could be a problem because the population which is being catered to is huge. If you go over there, doctors, the younger class are working more than 24 hours at a stretch most of the times during their emergency. Their emergency stretches to 36 hours. At times it is humanly impossible to treat so many people, operate, the junior doctors and everybody, the residents, they at times operate throughout the night in emergencies. But at times that also is less because the number of patients which are flowing in is humongous. So it becomes difficult to then manage so many patients, and ultimately what happens is that nobody is seeing the overall statistics. What we are seeing now is in seclusion that in so many hours, yes, this many deaths took place. Now, what were the conditions? What were the
Doctor, the issue of overcrowding in government hospitals, now this is something that you cannot do much about. Of course, you can increase the number of hospitals, but at least, ensuring that medicines are provided for and ensuring that, there's enough staff and these protocols to be followed for appointment of staff. These issues can be addressed, isn't it?
Yes, but medicines I don't deny. Medicine should be available. And who is responsible for the medicine? There are various departments in the hospital. Now, if those like the pharmacy store, the general store, which is there, which is responsible for procurement. So there are laxities at times in their procuring medicine. See,
Dr. Sanghvi, I request you to hold on. We have Sajid Supariwala who's just connected back with us. Right now, I'll take this across to him because I was just speaking here to Mr. Krishna Hegde, who goes on to say that this is politics, nothing else. There's already an audit that's being done and the government is being very, efficient in addressing this particular problem. Your take on the matter?
Oh, is that so? The basic amenities are not provided to the citizens of Maharashtra. And we are talking about playing politics and all. Should take the responsibility that you are lacking somewhere. And this government is not really doing the efforts which is to be done. In fact, it's a reality which we have seen in the past in Thane and also Sambhajinagar and many other places as well. Now people are dying because of basic amenities. What is a basic amenity? Education, medical, and all these shelter, clothing. Now we cannot provide a basic amenity of having sufficient medicines and staff. What are we doing here? Are we just trying to use our power for other things and use our funds for traveling of all the VIPs of the state government and all that? We are not concerned about the poor people of our country, of our state, of our city. What a sorry state. Instead of saying and arguing that people are playing politics, why not take the responsibility and do something so people don't have any issue about playing politics or whatever? I think it is a very irresponsible statement made by the people of the state of Maharashtra, of the people who are governing the people of Maharashtra. So I think this is a very basic...
Mr. Sajid, the fingers were being pointed that during your regime as well, the situation in the hospitals wasn't great and, you didn't do much to improve it at all.
Mr. Krishna...
He was talking about various scams that took place.
Total corruption.
One, I have a reply to that. I have a proper reply to that. In the times of COVID, it was Mr. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray was appreciated for the medicals and for the hospitals and for the shelter. You can go back to the history and find out how good the situation of the hospitals was that time. In fact, COVID was the very serious affair. It was the pandemic. It was a very big pandemic, which was definitely the test of times. And those times, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray proved that all the hospitals were working properly. He was foreseeing things. These people don't have enough for this thing also that they can even give basic amenities. Forget everything else. What will happen if a pandemic occurs at this time? How will they handle it? Do they have an answer to this?
Okay, Mr. Hegde, time for you to respond. You know, there have been multiple allegations. Firstly, of course, that
The
you're not
Uddhav
taking
Thackeray
up,
government was the government.
accountability at all in this particular case.
Do they have an answer to what are we talking about?
The
In fact,
Uddhav Thackeray
I'm
government
definitely
is the
condemning.
government which sat at home and did no work
Mr.
from
Hegde, go
home.
ahead. Hold
No
on.
work from
You
home.
are saying
Hold
And
on,
the
Mr.
scams
Supariwala.
have
Let's give him
broken
a
out
chance
now.
to respond.
And it is
Hold
our
on,
CM.
hold on. Let's give Mr. Hegde an opportunity to respond. You can come back after that.
Instead of sitting at home,
The Uddhav Thackeray government is known for its scams.
Mr.
In the
Sajid
last
Supariwala,
years.
I request you to hold on
Sajid, can you
while
be
let's not
quiet
speak
for a
over each
while?
other. Let Mr.
Yeah,
Krishna Hegde respond.
we gave you a chance to speak. The Uddhav Thackeray government is known for its scams.
Go ahead,
And when
Mr. Hegde,
people
go ahead.
during the COVID did not know what kind of scams were committed. And now they know what kind of scams were committed during the Uddhav Thackeray regime. Moreover, it was a government which worked from home and did nothing from home. Uddhav Thackeray ji did not even come out to the Mantralaya even twice in 2.5 years. Forget about meeting his MLAs or his legislators. Thirdly, let me tell you that this is not said by us. It is said by his own ally, Sharad Pawar Saab, in his book. Our CM Eknath Shinde ji is 24/7 for the people. The other day also, he visited KEM hospital. The dean of the KEM hospital and other officials said everything is okay, but he himself found out that 6 of the wards were shut. The next day, he got all 6 wards functional. So even the CM is moving city to city, town to town, between the people, not sitting at home and creating scams and earning money in COVID at the cost of other people's life. So there's a huge difference between this government and the earlier Uddhav Thackeray regime, which is very clear. And now an audit, like I said, Deepak, an audit has been called for. Dr. Sanghvi also explained the process very nicely as how the process is followed. And I think all these things which they done in Cooper, where were they? They didn't even know that the modernization
But
of
Mr.
Cooper.
Hegde, Dr. Sanghvi was definitely pointing out some of the issues, but he was also saying that there is scope for improvement as well. If your municipal process is going to take time to appoint doctors and meanwhile you have deaths taking place at the hospital, that's an issue that needs to be addressed.
I'm not seeing any
So there is
improvement.
always
What
scope
is the
for
improvement? People
there is
are still
always
having.
scope for improvement, and we want to do the improvement. We want to give the service to the people. We want to do the best for the people. That's why we started Apla Davakana in 110 centers in Mumbai, where you don't have to go to the hospital, just to go to the corner of the street and procure your free medicines and get free treatment. This is the way our government works. See, Nanded is very unfortunate, extremely unfortunate. But you should also understand that Dr. Sanghvi said people are coming from Parbari, they are coming from Dhule, they are coming from Hingoli, they are coming from even Telangana to the Nanded hospital, where a 600-bed hospital, we are getting in 1,100 patients. And in a hospital, the doctors can't say no when any patient
What's
comes.
the reason that's
especially
happening,
in a
Mr.
government
Hegde?
hospital.
What is the reason that's happening that people from so far away are landing up at this hospital? It's because they don't have proper healthcare facilities probably nearby. It's forcing them to actually come so far away.
So simple,
No, exactly.
The
That is
basic amenities are not
what
provided.
did the UPA government do for 15 years?
You're
What are
talking.
the services they've given? Zero. After that, the Uddhav Thackeray government came in for 2 years. What did they do? Nothing. We are
Okay,
here
I'll
for
take
the
that back.
last
I'll
1
take
year
that back
and
to
we are
Sajid. Sajid, I don't want to play this pass the buck game because that's what's been happening for the last couple of minutes. But more importantly, all the governments, even the opposition, should really be accountable, take responsibility. Because there have been flaws even during your regime. Just because now you sit on the other side of the fence, just pointing fingers would not really help in this case.
We are not pointing fingers. We want the answer to my question that what are the people of Maharashtra doing? What is their fault? Just because they are poor, they cannot afford. They are giving receipts to go and buy medicines from outside. In Nanded, this happened. Why don't you have your medicines in your hospital? You are sending receipts and you are telling the patient to buy it from outside. What is this? Is this a government? How government should be running? Is this how medical facilities should be provided?
Mr. Hegde, respond quickly. I'll take that question again next to Mr. Sanghvi after that.
No, there were medicines in
Okay, let him respond.
Nanded. There are medicines available in all hospitals. But whatever shortfall is there, whatever shortage is there, now the district collector has been authorized to go regularly to each and every hospital in his district, not periodically but regularly, and take the onus. The district collector has been specifically told by the CM that not only revenue work, you have to do medical work and all other work which is concerning the common man. And today we are the only government who has done that. Till then, which CM has been proactive? You tell me. Uddhav Thackeray ji has been proactive. Has he ever come on the street? He didn't even go to Mantralaya, and now they are blaming us. Even in this Cooper hospital, it is I who have given the letter. I've given the letter for this VN Desai hospital, which is again joining my constituency for Cooper hospital. These guys are just now coming into the picture and saying, getting some media and going into Cooper hospital and saying, oh, this is right and this is wrong. I don't even think they've gone to Cooper hospital before this.
Okay. Dr. Sanghvi has been patient while, of course, we've been debating the politics around this. I'll take a question quickly to him. Dr. Sanghvi, you, of course, did point out that there are a lot of issues, the government probably can look into to fix the bigger problem at these hospitals, which, of course, one of the biggest problems you did speak about is the huge number of people, a footfall at these hospitals. So where do you think the solution really lies here?
Two things. Number one, this government, as Mr. Hegde also very rightly said, I happen to be practicing and working in his constituency, so I know about Cooper Hospital, which is a stone's throw away from my residence too. So, and being working also closely with the sister hospital of Cooper, that is Balasaheb Thackeray Trauma Center. Well, the problem here is somehow, which, things take time to get moving because of the said protocol. And why is the protocol in place? To avoid corruption. So there are multiple sieves or, blockades which prevent corruption in the long chain, but that also takes time. That is issue number one. So somehow the procurement, which should be taking at a faster pace, is not taking when it is required. That one small issue needs to be addressed. And this I have been saying since years together, whichever government at the corporation level or at the city level, town level or state level, in the state of Maharashtra or across the country, I would say, it took COVID for the government at the center also to realize the importance of health facilities. And it was for the first time that at the time of COVID was the health budget in the national budget, the health allocation was increased. Otherwise, if you see historically in our country, the allocation towards health is usually not more than 1 to 1.5%. It was by the Honorable Finance Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, who said that over a period of 3 years, it should go from 1.8% to 2.5%. I don't know whether it has happened or not. But unfortunately, across governments in this country, health has never taken a front seat. I think we need to really do that. One thing which I've always liked this time about this government here is the Apna Davakhana.
Health needs to take a front seat. That's the point that I take out of what you have mentioned. I have a couple of minutes left on the show. I want to take quick words from Mr. Sajid as well. Sajid, we have Dr. Sanghvi talk about how health should be given priority, and this is something that he's talking across party lines. So while, of course, you've been charged today that you're politicizing the issue, yes, there is a duty of the opposition to point out certain aspects as well. So can that be more constructive is also a question that comes up.
Let us come to the point where the responsibility is taken by the state government. Let us wait for the opposition reply later on. Tell me something. What have you done? Aren't you ashamed of yourself for claiming that we are doing our job instead of saying that we are doing our jobs? Why instead of saying that we are politicizing the issue, whoever is doing, why don't we improve it? Why don't we take the responsibility as a human being that yes, we are lacking somewhere, we are trying to improve it and prove it to the people that you're improving it. Instead of saying and making statements, just go to each and every hospital, whoever the health minister was saying, whatever he was saying was a very responsible statement. Their own health minister said that I'm not the only one to be blamed. There are certain departments in my government which is to be blamed. Isn't it a very sorry state? Why don't we just take the responsibility and do the needful? What is required from us? What is needed from us?
Okay.
why you are not
Okay,
using
Mr.
the
Krishna
funds
Hegde, quickly,
properly
I
for
want you
the
to make this
medical?
point. I have about 30 seconds, but more importantly,
No,
of
the
course,
government has already
this
taken
juncture,
responsibility.
the people who are watching, especially from Maharashtra, would want to believe that when they admit their loved ones, their kin at the government hospitals, they do not have a sorry tale at the end of it. What's the assurance that's going to come in from the government?
We have already
We
taken
are asking the
steps
same question.
to rectify whatever issues are there in the hospital. Firstly, the Honorable CM has already, asked for an audit of all government hospitals in Maharashtra. Over that, the district collectors have given the responsibility of all the procurement and all, wherever there's a shortage to give, white paper on that and periodically, regularly work on that. And it is their responsibility also now. Moreover, the government on its own has started multiple dispensaries across, areas where people can go and avail instead of going only to government hospitals. But I would want to bring a very
So
important
can
thing
the
here.
people
The
go
private
to a government
hospitals are
hospital and
also
be rest assured that there is not going to be a tragedy coming their way, Mr. Hegde? Is that an assurance that you're giving on the show today?
see, no one wants a tragedy at
While
any
of course you're
point.
talking about
We are all
audits that
human
you've
beings.
ordered, while you're talking about various things that the government is going to do, can the people rest assured that they can go to a government hospital and come back out safe?
See, there are thousands of people going to a government hospital every day.
But we
An
bear the
unfortunate incident has happened, and the government takes moral responsibility for it. We are doing our best to rectify the issues. The rot in the system is there for a long time. It takes some time to clear the rot, and we are clearing the rot.
Okay. Okay. We
Moreover,
are
I
clearing
want to
the
bring
rot
a
is a
very
word that's come on this show. I thank all our guests for joining us and being patient. We're going